Next up on the show is Brian Chambers, a sales expert and the president of B&LC Custom Print. Brian, welcome. It's first time, but I see you started with Red Bull, so you're already off and running.
Yes, I am. Thank you for having me on the show.
You bet, man. All right, so how did you get started with the custom printing business? What kind of drew you into it?
Well, I used to be a real estate lender, okay, and I used to work for a company, and interest rate, it was market driven, and interest rates went high, and it was less business. Okay?
What year?
This year, actually.
Really?
No. It started declining last year. I'm sorry,
last
last year.
So very recent.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the custom printing
Oh,
business?
I am.
About a year now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So brand
Close
new.
to a year. So as a lender, in mortgage, what I used to do is, refinance purchases, a lot of loans, right? And I thought to myself, okay, I'm selling products already, so let me venture off and, see what this is all about. And when I thought about products, I said, well, I know there's companies out there that need products, right? Imprints, embroidery, you might need uniforms, pins with your logo,
Trucker hats?
trucker hats, and I said, this is broad. Let me open it up and, see what companies need. And it's all about what they need, right?
Okay, so the opportunity's there, but is that what drew you, or is it more like this looks like fun, or I can make a lot of money here? I mean, what really drew you to that industry?
I'm going to say a little bit of both. I think it could be fun, right?
Yeah.
Like just talking to you and saying, hey, man, I like this artwork, and I like artwork. I just, my mother could draw. My nieces are graphic designers. They help me out. Some of the stuff that I see, I'll be like, oh, man, that look awesome, right? So imagine putting that on a T-shirt. Imagine putting that on, a product that you like, right? So that's why I start, just excelling on that, and I'm just trying to build off of it. So
Okay, so is it primarily a family business? Is that what you're
yes,
running with?
and
Family labor costs are down? Cheap
They are
labor?
down.
well, you gotta think about this too. Like, I have a few members in my family that's business owners. We don't have a lot of business owners in my family. And, I want something to outlive me, something I can leave behind. I feel like
Legacy.
it's almost, like a legacy. Because, like my parents, they just work, but they have nothing to leave behind, So I just thought of a different process as far as like just, something lead to my daughter, right? And I got one on the way, so.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
big
you. So,
announcement.
yeah. So,
So now this is a business now. So
Right.
there's going to come a point, and this is like Heather's specialty. You're
Right.
going to have to choose between job owner and business owner, right? If you're going to grow it. So
Right.
really, I have a couple questions, right? Which is, how do you plan on growing it? And then at what point do you want to turn it from a job owner into a business owner, kind of a thing? So I don't know who's best to ask that question. But probably Heather.
If I could simplify that question, if everything went right, where would your business be in 5 years?
if everything went right, I would like to see a lot of customers just be satisfied with what they have, right? What the business will look like, that's hard to say. That's a challenging question for me because I don't know what I would do in 5 years if the business met its expectations, right? So that's something I probably just have to think of on my own. But I would like to see my kids get more involved as they get older with it,
Are you trying to build a business or a job?
I'm going to say a business. Because if I treat it like a job, I mean, my definition of a job is you just working just to make ends meet, right? I'm
You
working.
can't step away from it. That's the big difference. Is
But-
you're not building something for other people. You're building it for yourself, where you're the boss. You make all the decisions. You do all the work. That's a job owner. But then you can't, if you get sick or if you want to take a vacation, those kind of things are inhibited. So, but building a business is where you actually facilitate other people to do the work. You're the leadership. You make the connections. You build out the business side of it. But then other people execute the work. That's the big difference.
I'm leaning towards that way then, more of the business side of it, yes.
So
to delegate the work, yes.
So Heather's a business coach.
We need to meet.
Get coffee and have her just explain that a little bit, and maybe she can put some thought processes in place for you to be like, okay, you can visualize what this would look like
that's
in
true.
6 months or 12 months.
Right.
Because it's hugely beneficial, because if we can drive ourselves right into a job if we're not careful. and then we can't get out of it.
That
And
makes
then
sense.
we adjust our lifestyle where we can't hire somebody to do something because we're spending all the money that we're making doing it. So I can't move. That's where it's like you're brand new. Start planning now so that you can.
And that makes sense because I know
leverage.
a business owner that's been in since 2005, and I think he's more of a job owner because he's out there like in the field, technician. And I'm like, you're a CEO of a company, you got all these personnel. I'm like, wow, why are you working like this? He said,
Well,
it's
and
just
it's
the
so
industry.
easy. We can all. My favorite joke to say is when I meet new business owners, they tell me they got into business for freedom and flexibility.
I don't think that's.
And if you laugh at that, then you know because
no, I don't
somebody
think
will
that's
be
true.
free or
I mean,
flexible at
is that
first.
true though? I mean, like,
They think that though. They think that I don't want a boss, and I'm going
work
to have
for
more
myself.
freedom, and I'm going to make more money. But the problem is, it doesn't work that way.
I don't think I wouldn't think it worked that way.
Because there's too much competition, so your margins are smaller and smaller. So you have to actually scale what you're doing in order to, especially in the I call it the tchotchke business, right? But it's the sales, the promotional items business, right? It's the giveaways, it's the fun stuff, right?
Right.
Well, there's a low margin there, so you got to be careful with those margins. So you have to get creative in how you do things.
That's true.
But if you can't, you can scale, right? Can you sell to 100 local clients or 10 local clients to make the margins you want to live the lifestyle you want? But if you want to build a business, it's a different approach.
attitude, okay, about it, yeah.
And I
okay.
love what you said earlier about not wanting to reinvent the wheel. What's great is generally like us and what we do, and also most of the people that come on our podcast, it's not like the tech world where it's like, I have this cool, sexy idea for this ethereal app, and I'm going to get a bunch of people to give me money for the idea of the app. No, we work in here's a product or here's a service, and I get paid for that, and I have to cash flow to survive because I have to pay my bills. So generally in these unsexy industries that we all do, which,
Yeah.
I mean, I like them if it's
I
fine.
think promotional items is pretty
Yeah,
sexy,
I think
though.
it's
I love
kind
graphic
of sexy,
design.
yeah.
No, seriously.
You're
I
in
love
the
all
like
that.
more
It's fun.
fun
Yeah, I think
side.
it could. That's why, I love it. Yeah.
But generally, someone has done what we want to do, and it doesn't need to be reinventing the wheel. It doesn't need to be figuring it all out for ourselves. It's just, that's why I always ask that question. If everything went right, because nobody seems to think in those terms. We all are a little more pessimistic, except for some of us who are dreamers.
I'm very optimistic.
Not Mark. Mark's like, when everything goes right, and I love that.
I love that.
But if everything goes right in 5 years, and having that clarity can direct your activity now and keep you from becoming that job owner.
Yeah.
Because if you know that you are working toward, hey, in 5 years, I want to be spending 20 hours managing this business a week instead of 100 hours running the business a week, then you can build your business in that direction and start to have milestones where it's like, hey, I need to outsource the sales piece, or I need to outsource the design. It's totally
Yeah.
customizable, but I'm betting money someone has already done it the way generally you'd like to do it. So why not take their rough draft and just tweak it to what works for you? That's why I read
Yeah.
so many books. I'm like, what works there?
Do you have a mentor in your business? Do you have somebody you're following?
I
on?
use Score a lot.
What's
You know,
Score?
Score is like an online nonprofit organization. They come out with classes almost every week. And
But do you have somebody who's actually done it
Oh,
successfully that you communicate with?
yeah, his name is Bob Mitchell. He used to play for what was it, football or baseball for Texas A&M.
Okay.
Oh,
And
gig 'em.
sometimes I talk to him about like government contracts and
There we go.
you know how to strategize as far as sales and things like that.
Go
He
for the
done made-
whales.
Yeah.
Bob Mitchell, from what he told me, he made millions and millions of dollars as a business strategist for companies already. So yeah, if you don't know about Score, they pretty much a great group to start off with. They will assign you a mentor
Well, that's
if
great.
you don't have one, but yeah, they pretty cool.
I think it's
And he
really
has his own business too, and it's like a business leadership school. It's online. I don't know the cost of it or whatever, but you go through these modules and.
So where are you marketing? How are you networking? How are you getting out in front of other business owners right now?
That's a good question. Chambers of Commerce.
Okay.
So
That's where we met.
that's what we do, right? Ribbon cuttings. I call beforehand, like with once I see something pop up, I say, hey, during your ribbon cutting, just make a conversation with them, like build rapport and see what they need, and say, hey, do you need like a banner maybe for your ribbon cutting or I don't know, they could need a whole bunch of other things, and we just have that conversation, but it's really based around that conversation we have, like me and you have.
Smart.
Right?
Nice.
Very smart.
So is
Yeah.
there a difference in speed in like if someone orders promotional products from you versus going online? Are you able to get them quicker turnaround times, better quality?
It depends on the product and the supplier, because I have I have access to over 2,400 suppliers, right? And that is a lot, right?
Yeah.
So I do need a strategy on what suppliers I really like, but I do look at a list of top suppliers that's in the country, the top 50, and normally I deal with those suppliers for now, because they got to be doing something right? If they top 40 in sales or whatever the situation is. So
Do you guys have like a secret sauce, or why choose you over somebody else? Is it just because you're there, or is there something that like, hey, this is what makes it special?
I think choosing like my company is more like one-on-one, okay? You can't really, well, you can call somebody at Amazon, right? But
No, I don't think you
I
can.
don't think you can.
well, okay, you can't call nobody at Amazon.
I wouldn't even think of that.
With me, I'm gonna do like a little checklist and say, hey, you need this. How do you want this? How you want this artwork? I'm more what's the
Customer
word?
service is where
Yeah,
you're
more
at.
It's about
customer
having
service,
the
one-on-one,
person
right?
that can help you navigate
Yeah, so
that
I cater
process.
to you. I cater more to you than, and that's kind of old school, right?
Yeah.
Because nobody likes to talk to nobody nowadays, right? Everything is, I push a
text.
button.
Oh, I press 0 1,000 times. whenever
Yeah,
I
so
call
I
those
mean,
customer services.
I want to go back to basics, I call it. I am, veteran too. I think also, if I didn't have passive income, I might have a different attitude about what I'm doing now, right?
What would be
Interesting.
different? More hustle?
Because I would have to
You have to
need
hustle.
this for like paying mortgage, paying bills that we have, right?
That's how you
That's
succeed,
huge.
though. is when
Yeah,
you
not
starve
having to
death.
worry about money, and you can build the business that you want, and the money will follow.
I remember I was in real estate, so
know.
I got a couple of properties with passive income, right? I'm not rich by no means, but at the same time, I'm relaxed. So I don't feel the stresses of like a lot of people that start
Yeah.
businesses, because you're going to take a loss most of the time when you do start businesses, right?
That's true.
Yep.
You're going to take a lot of loss. So you just got to be able to deal with that. And then a lot of people take out a lot of loans. I don't like loans, so I
Paying
try to.
somebody else to go out and work.
Man, it's and I do want to, and that's a good question when I think about it. I do want to like help people, like in the long run, 5 years. If somebody can work their butt off and make $1 million, I want to give them a good portion of that $1 million. Just not for myself, but for them too.
You want everybody to win.
I do. I'm just that person. I know that's hard to, like a lot of people to think that, but for real, like,
I think a lot of entrepreneurs think that way. I mean,
I do too.
we're in business to help each other.
Yeah.
We want to win, but we don't have to make other people lose so we can win.
exactly. I don't want
Right.
that. I don't want to do that at all.
I need to.
No.
That should be a quote.
If I could change
Yeah.
somebody's life, like, like from, especially where I'm from, I'm from Chicago, the poor part of the city, right? And if I could change somebody's life, because I done seen a lot of lifestyle where a lot of poverty is, and I could see them like convert and grow. I mean, that's an achievement for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've been to Iraq, Afghanistan. I done seen culture, how the people live and stuff, and you only could do what you can do to help, right? A lot of humanitarian assignments I've been assigned to, and when somebody from like succeed or be happy about something that I helped them with, I'm happy. It makes me feel good. So
That's
that's
joy.
the drive,
And I
man.
feel like at a
That's-
certain point, money stops being
it's not really
important.
important.
Yeah.
It-
and
it-
not your
people look
number
for a
one
higher
motivator.
purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, higher
ultimately-
purpose. It's assets, goals, what you're trying to accomplish, and if I can help you do that, yeah.
I figure that
I'll
happens
win.
around $20,000 a month, and then we can start thinking about
Yeah.
cool. Now I
Then
can
you
give
can
some of this
really
away.
at a high level start thinking about
All right,
it.
Brian. Well, that's a great chat. If folks want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Oh, you can go to my website or call me. My website is blccustomprint.com, or just give me a call at 866-243-3569, and I'll be there.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. All right, as we wrap up the show, quick reminder, you can check out our latest podcast or catch video version of the show by anytime by visiting our website at satalkradio.com or find us on social media. That's going to be it for this one. Thanks, everybody. You all did a great job.
Thank you.
And we'll see you on the next one.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thanks for having me.